Hey good people, are you ready for some good things? I'd also like to celebrate that our building director, Kent Nyman, has done with the help of some volunteers. Bruce Buller, Larry Seeley, David Graymont, and Jerry Blaisdell. They've been switching out all of the light bulbs to LED, which is great for the church and great for the environment. We also have them freshening up rooms around the church, so they've been repainting. Right now they're in the bell room. Take a look at Dave Lucas doing the work. We have two very special members of our church, Beth Joyner and Jeremy Gerard, who serve as hospital chaplains. They're going to tell you a little bit about what that is.
Well, I'm Beth Joyner, and I do the adult choirs at Christ United Methodist Church, but I'm also full-time chaplain at the Mayo Clinic, covering night shifts from Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday nights for both hospitals. So lots of fun.
Hello, Christ UMC family. My name is Jeremy Gerard. My wife, Lauren, daughters Hartley and Serenity have been attending and worshiping with Christ UMC for a little over a year now, since we moved down to Rochester. Grace asked me to answer a few questions about my job and role for this episode of Good Things. My day job is that of a hospital chaplain. Some of you might be wondering, what is that even? I feel like maybe I've heard of it. What I do is work in the hospital, caring and attending to the spiritual and religious needs of our patients and their families and staff. So I work with folks across the religious spectrum, both various religious, kind of explicitly religious backgrounds, and also folks who identify as maybe spiritual, but not with a particular faith tradition. And also people who identify as having no faith tradition at all, right? Kind of atheist folks, or folks who just think, yeah, like, no, that stuff's not really for me.
I think a lot of times people think the chaplain is only present when end of life is happening, but so often we're called to see people who are just unable to sleep, maybe, or talk with staff who need some positive word. I spoke with a woman this morning who was not a patient, but this was her last day of work here at the hospital, and she's going to do something different. And she was pretty anxious and wanted a blessing for that time. So, moving forward for someone, that's pretty exciting stuff to be a part of. And it's really a lot of variety in the hospital. So I feel very privileged to be able to do this.
Yeah, there's some joy mixed into all of that.
There is.
Yeah. Well, wonderful. I think those are the questions I have for you today.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for meeting.
And so with all of our patients and families and staff, I have the privilege and the opportunity to listen to them talk about what they are worried about, or about what's making them anxious or fearful. And sometimes I pray with folks if that's what they find helpful or comforting. Sometimes we just talk through kind of what they're experiencing, both the good and the negative. And there are a lot of times in which I am sitting with folks, not saying anything, just being present with them.
Part of what I love the most is hearing people's stories, because I think who we are is tied up in our story. And I always think of Fred Rogers saying it's hard not to love someone when you hear their story.
And finally, I want to make sure you all know about Together We Thrive. That's this year's Thrive fundraiser. Rather than putting on a gala, there is a week-long series of videos on Facebook, and on Saturday, there will be a drive-thru where anyone who donates $25 or more gets to pick up their Thrive swag bag. And then Saturday night at 5 p.m., there will be a live video on Facebook all about what Thrive is and what it has done in 2020. I hope you can donate and I hope you can join. I'd also like to thank the people who made that possible, the volunteers, the Thrive staff, the families, and of course those wonderful kids for their contributions. You won't want to miss these videos. As always, thanks for watching and thanks for being a part of the Christ United community. It is a marvelous place and we're so glad you're here. Have a great weekend.